Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Crash, and today we're taking a look at the new batch of Shounen Jump titles. Except this time it consists only of a single title, PPPPPP, by mangaka Mappolo Sangoku. I review the very first chapter of every single new Weekly Shounen Jump manga, so if that interests you, consider subscribing. But to the manga in question. The name of the manga is probably related with the musical note P, called piano, which represents a soft and quiet musical dynamic. A triple P is called a pianissimo, which means that this manga could probably be called a pianissimo pianissimo, but I'll be calling it PPPPPP, even though it's PPPPP pretty dumb. Dumb names aside, this is indeed a music manga about a pianist, and in this first chapter it's all about him, the main character, Lucky, and how unlucky it truly is. Born as one of 7 septuplets, because otherwise they wouldn't be called septuplets, his dad was a famous pianist, and as such all 7 children grew up learning the piano and loving it. And all of them were exceptional. Well, all except for Lucky. Lucky wasn't bad, just mediocre. But compared to the instant talents of his siblings, he was nothing, much to the disgust of his father, who didn't let him play the piano and would ridicule him every day, which led to his mother to stand up for Lucky and file a divorce. He wouldn't stay with his mother long though, as she would find herself in the hospital, and as such he was sent to live with his aunt and cousin, who treated him like he was Cinderella, because they hated him and his mother for divorcing a very rich and famous man. And this is where the story starts, and this first chapter serves more so as an introduction of not only all of that backstory, but also the personality and layers of Lucky. And I've got to say, I really liked him. During all this tragedy, Lucky puts on a mask and smiles, as he believes that he doesn't deserve to be sad since it's all his fault. Yet, throughout the chapter we see multiple moments of him on the verge of crying. Despite everything that happened because of his piano skills, he still loves the piano, and he wants nothing more but to play it, regardless of being at the same level as his now famous siblings or not. At the end of the chapter, his mother decides to ask him to stop apologizing for every little thing and just go for it. Prove to everyone that hard work can surpass talent. And it's not the first time that this message has been told in manga. It's very much the core of so many battle shonens and sports manga. It's the whole point of Rock Lee in Naruto. But it feels right in PPPPP. Lucky's entire life has been horrible due to the single fact that he wasn't talented. That he didn't start good, even though he had the passion and love to work and learn and improve. And this first chapter really makes us want to cheer him up on his goal. If there's anyone that needs to show that you can work for your goals, that it's okay to be bad at first, it's him. And so this chapter ends with his first small victory. He tries to join a music school and even takes private lessons in preparation for the entrance exam. He doesn't pass easily. 2 out of the 3 juries found him to be very mediocre, but one of them, during Lucky's rendition of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, found himself feeling weird, as if he could see Lucky play with 6 little kids even if for a moment. Even though the others compare his very soft playing to a grade schooler's performance, he decided to pass Lucky, and that's how the first chapter ends. And it was great. At the first chapter it does a really great job establishing why you should care about the characters, or rather, the character. There's a female character introduced who undoubtedly will appear in the future, but right now there's not much to say about her, except that she looks kinda creepy and she is a fan of Lucky's siblings, which by the way nobody knows they're actually related. I don't think the character is creepy on purpose, just her design comes off a bit like that, which I guess is to do with the level of the art style. The art style isn't good, rather I would say it's bad, and yet I also like it. It's charming and cute. I'd put it on the same tier as the Noodle Bodies of Bone Collection and the Potato Faces of Demon Slayer. A lot of room to improve, and yet very adorable. I just have a soft spot for those. Plus the fact that the art is a bit mediocre, so to speak, kind of fits with the main theme of the manga, and I want to see how it improves as the mangaka continues. Regardless, I don't think the art will necessarily block the success of this manga, as we often see manga with great art be axed, and manga with bad art continue, depending on the strength of their stories. What may block the success of this manga is how this manga continues from here on out. I'm assuming it's going to be more of a sports manga with pianos, with competitors and competitions and such, rather than just a slice of life about music. I see this because this is Shounen Jump and rarely gets slice of lices unless they are very gag-based, which this is not. So I think this is more likely to be more of Bakuman than Your Lie in April, despite the very first chapter. As for my retrospective into if I think this new batch is an improvement of the X titles, in this case, if I think PPPPP is so far seems to be better than Candy Flurry, yes I do. Not that I think Candy Flurry is bad, but it wasn't anything special in the greater landscape of battle shonen. So I'd go as far as saying that it wasn't better than any of the current competitors in Jump right now, so this outcome was predictable. In contrast, PPPPP doesn't really have a direct competitor in Jump right now. It most certainly will become a breath of fresh air in the current magazine. Plus, it can become the next sports manga if it really ends up going that route, depending on how Nero goes on, which right now doesn't seem to be that well. Hopefully PPP fares better than the previous batch of manga, which both seem to be at the risk of being cancelled despite the overwhelming popularity of Redwood in the West. But we'll have to see. But if you want to see my first thoughts on the rest of manga in Jump, then click on the playlist on the left, and if you watched it till here, thank you very much, and I'll see you next video.